Hello everyone, it's VampiCat here, and welcome back to another episode of Tales of Arise. On the last episode, we fought our way through the Forbidden Zone, and we learned a lot of juicy secrets. We also faced off against the Red Woman, who turned out to actually be the Red Women, because there were multiple of her. And then we decided to take the fight to the Renan homeworld, but as we were on our starship heading that way, our ship got, I guess, controlled and basically teleported somewhere by the Red Woman. Now we're at some kind of weird space station that the ship autopiloted us to. So today we are gonna start right there, exploring the space station and figure out why the hell we were sent there in the first place. All that being said, let's just jump into the game. All right, here we are at the weird space station thingy.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
The wise
Someone
guy.
formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
All right, we've got another skit.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegus?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing.
Aww.
So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Something I love about the writing of this game is that after important characters pass away, like Zephyr, they still reference those characters all the time. It's so realistic because obviously in real life, if somebody important to you is no longer around, you're still gonna think about them and there's still gonna be things that remind you of that person. But I feel like in so many stories, once a character dies, they just kind of forget about it and move on. They're like, okay, that plot point's done, let's go on to the next one. But that's not how things would actually happen. You would always have things that make you think of that person. So I love that this story still references Zephyr. They still show how much of an influence he had on these people, that even after he's gone, he's still important to them. Even Miguel too. Kisara constantly talks about Miguel because he was so important to her life. So even with him gone, she's still gonna be thinking about him. So I love that the game includes that. They don't just like move on to the next plot point and forget about it. It's really great writing. Okay, so we've got what looks like an elevator here. Is there anything around the sides first? No. This is very futuristic looking. Let's go on up, down. Oh, we have 3 levels. Lower, central, and upper. I'm assuming we're on... Okay, we can't go to lower. So we've got to go to central. Alright, just check the perimeter first. I love all, like, the plants in the glass jars. That one's really cool looking. It almost looks like a clear pumpkin. With like pretty pink flowers around it. That's really cool. I should not just be, like, admiring the foliage, but sometimes you just gotta stop and look at the flowers, you know? Okay. Whoa, what is this machine? This is really suspicious.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
It's like a big chamber. Oh, there's something in it. It looks like the same kind of shape as the red woman, yeah. Is this where they make them?
Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
Maybe not. Is it not gonna attack us?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
Ah, I can speak through the
That
screen.
is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
What is happening?
Talk.
Are you
What
friendly?
are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that. Just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Are these...
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
Is this what true Renans actually look like? Are the people from Lenegus
We
not
did
actually
come to
Renan?
this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
The Great
What do you mean,
Spirit.
sir? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this
Why
guy?
is Law the
Like it or
best?
not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have
Oh.
done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
So they're being controlled by
A
that
question.
spirit?
What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
Yeah, they can't do
voice?
anything about it.
Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
So it doesn't have any
Wait, back up.
body.
You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's great spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents.
Ah, so Rena's is
So
in one
thinly is
small
that energy
space.
spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
Yeah. So Naori really did save the
But the
world.
ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
So Naori saved the
Correct.
world by stopping the
A change in
ceremony and
plan
taking
was
the
required
thorns
to
into
ensure
herself.
The spirit channeling success. However, recreating the Renasalma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
Yeah, because until then they hadn't even bothered
This is all
Dana.
happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrect 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
Yeah, because he wants to free his
I'm
kind
sorry,
from
did you just
control.
ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Phasal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
I mean, we have to help it because we need to destroy the Great Spirit no matter what. If we don't destroy it, then all of the astral energy will be harvested from Dana. Honestly though, Alphen thinks it's his fault because the spirit channeling ceremony failed and that's why they invaded Dana, but regardless if it had failed or not, I really think that the Great Spirit would have turned to Dana anyways. If it wants all the astral energy, I don't think it would be satisfied just with what it could get from Lenegis, you know? And what Naori did stopped way more people from dying. It seems to manage Hevrek 35's condition. Lots of vital sign stats are displayed. Oh, so that's why this place looks like this too, is all this feeds into him to try and keep him alive. Alright, let's find the others. I'm assuming we just have to go to the next floor.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
Regardless, we have the
To be
same
honest,
enemy.
The conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Yeah, that's what I wonder. We don't know anything about
Now that you
the
mention
Renan
it,
people
I
who
know
live on
about Talc,
Rena.
Hevrek 35
There
never
might not
brought up
even
the
be
Renans once.
Renans.
And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Renans were just basically Danon mages. Because if you think about it, what's really the difference between Rinwell and the other Renans? The only difference is that the Renans' eyes light up. So they could be just Danons, but they just have a slightly different power or something. They might not necessarily be from Rena. By that I mean like the Renans from Lenegis. They might not even actually be from Rena. They could just be another type of Danon. Oh, we were in the takeoff departure area before, so there's actually 2 more levels we can go to. Lower and upper. Ooh, fast travel point added. This place looks so cool. This place is awesome. Wait, is there something I should look at over here first? No, this place is fucking great though. Oh, I can look at this. It measures astral energy fluctuations in Dana and Rena. So Hevrek 35 is just monitoring everything from here. Oh, there are actual people here.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Hmm? Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I guess so.
The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
This is just getting so bizarre. Not in like a bad way, it's just bizarre.
Have you guys lived up here in Dig Faisal with Hevrecht 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrecht 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Yeah, we figured
Which
that
would
out
explain
before.
why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrecht 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
Okay,
After
so
all
there
this
are
time,
Renans on
There's
Rena,
nothing to be gained from going back.
but they're
We've
all
agreed it'd be best to
hypnotized.
simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
I wonder how many people from Lenegis then are also being hypnotized. Or if Lenegis is so far away that they can't hypnotize everybody. I mean, there's only a few red women on Lenegis. I would assume they
Can we
can't
talk to you for a
hypnotize the
few
whole
minutes?
place.
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
Oh, that's how they hypnotize Faria, though.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing
Wait!
as Renans in the first place.
I am right!
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
I
Apparently
was
not.
fucking right!
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally
That's what I fucking
created from
said!
cannons by the Helganquil.
I said they were just another type of Danon! Yes, I was right! Oh, I'm so proud! Look at their faces.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
So the reason that there's so few Danans that can cast
Are you saying
astral
Renans were
arts is because they
originally
made them
created
all
from
into
Danans
Renans.
that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains
Yeah.
why almost nobody can use astro arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough. You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it.
Jesus, dude.
Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
But it makes so much
Just when I
sense.
think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
All of this trouble between the Danans and the Renans on Dana hating each other and thinking that each other are like these awful species of people, just for them to realize that they are literally the same in the first place, that's so sad. It's awful how easy it is sometimes to turn people against other people just by telling them that, like, you are different and therefore you are better or worse than another person for those differences. Like, the Danans and the Renans are the fucking same, and it was so easy to get them to hate each other. It appears to maintain constant monitoring to ensure nothing approaches Dake Faisal.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
Ah,
I take
that's
it the
what the
solutions to those
conversion's
problems
for.
were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans and Helganquil that day.
Oops. The Maiden did it
But
on
for the next
purpose, though,
plan,
because
we
she
tried to
knew what would
recreate the
happen.
Renaissance, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
That's so cool, but awful.
Hevric 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes. And yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
Jesus, these people are awful.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
I guess that's fair.
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Not really.
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
Aww.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
This must be a
Sounds
lot
good.
for all
Let's
of
go
them
find
to handle. But we need to take down the Great Spirit. If we don't, it's gonna completely sap Dana dry.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
Oh, we have a rest point too. Why don't we go ahead and use that? Let's look at the skit first.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevric 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
Ah, the
But if
names.
Hevric 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
All right, let's rest. Oh my god, we're gonna be sleeping in the hibernation chamber. All right, let's go talk to everybody. Here's Kisara.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
Dohalim.
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power, and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
We have so
Yeah.
many.
It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred.
It's gonna
It
be
won't achieved
hard.
through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
That's gonna be so tough with all these people knowing their whole lives that that they were different from each other, that one was better than the other, or that one treated the other terribly, and learning that, like, they actually just come from the same people. That's gonna be hard for a lot of people to swallow. Some people probably won't even believe it, because they don't want to be the same as the people who enslaved them, or they don't want to be the same as the people that they feel are beneath them. Whereas others are just gonna either be shocked or upset, or there's so much that would just be hard about learning that the people you hated for so long were not much different from you. A ton of people, I'm sure, will even feel just guilty that they let this war happen because of some other outside force that had nothing to do with them really to begin with.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else.
Yeah, it'll just
So
take hard
I was thinking
work.
maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
That's really sweet.
That great spirit worries
And it
me
might
too,
actually
though.
help, yeah.
Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Yeah, Rinwell has a good point that, like, really the arts are the one thing that separate them the most, so she kind of has a position more than anybody else as, like, an in-between because she's a Danon that can use arts. She's almost like the original Renan, you know? Okay, there's Law. There's Dohalim. Is that it? Alright, let's actually talk to Dohalim last, even though Law's my favorite, because I feel like Dohalim has taken it the worst. So we'll save him for the end.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen.
Don't say that!
All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, you have to focus on what you can change and what you can do first. It's all one step at a
All I want
time.
to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Of course it is.
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah,
Aww,
I think it does.
that was a very sweet scene.
It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
I love Law so much. All right, let's see if we can help out Dohalim.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire.
Yeah,
There
that's a
is,
ticking
after all,
time
3
bomb.
centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Oh, I love
I
this.
realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you.
They do need kind
However,
of like
The fact of the
figureheads
matter
to
is
help.
that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
To help like mediate between
the same
people.
as
Sorry, I
everybody.
didn't want to talk over them.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
Oh, so
You're too
cute.
I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
I
You
fucking
don't even
adore
need to ask.
Dohalim.
Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
My friend. Yeah, if
Well,
they both have kind
It
of
sounds like
representatives,
everyone's
it would
learning
be
from their
so
past
much
and using it to
easier.
create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Xion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you. Fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have?
Please get married.
It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred That means forgiving other people. Even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Xion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Aww.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
I love our cute little family.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
Let's go.
I
Off to
am.
Rena.
There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
Very simple, one step at a time.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, and so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
Yeah, I think it is just like a part that's split off.
while the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
That's what I like to hear.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
All right, time to figure out the plan.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
After we watch this skit.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renaissance stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it It doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
In
don't
any
jinx
case,
it.
If we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine. I'm sure of it.
Right.
All right, so let's go forward. Central level, right? Yes. We have an answer. Hello.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the great spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Rena's Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Rena's Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Xion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
It's not an option
What
we're
are
willing
our
to
other
take.
options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Xion that she wouldn't die. That we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
Okay, well, fuck you. That's what I think.
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Rena's Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns could be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well,
Place the entire Great Spirit inside the Rena's Alma. Oh my god.
Is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Rena's Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
But there's a
What does
greater
that mean for us
chance.
if you won't allow it.
Hold on, I don't want to speak
Your
over top of
starship
people.
will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen is the fucking best.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
Yeah, it's really...
You'll agree?
That's the only thing you can
I am
do.
an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Rena's Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Rena's Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight
God,
for once.
there's so much to this
Everett 35 and
plan.
the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all.
Let me just get comfy.
Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
Excellent.
But I
Let's
want to
go.
make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Everett 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry.
Poor
I think
Law.
we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the Fall Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away.
All right, we are about to head to Rena. What I was gonna say is that we've read in the Forbidden Zone that the spirit channeling ceremony is more likely to succeed if the Sovereign and Maiden have a strong bond. So Hevrecht 35 is saying that like this plan is way more dangerous because it requires such great control in the spirit channeling ceremony for it to succeed. But in this case, we have a much higher chance of it succeeding because the Sovereign and the Maiden are so close. Like, Alphen and Xion really, really care about each other, and if that increases the chance of the ceremony actually working, then I think we have a pretty good shot at it working.
Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrect 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
Okay. I guess the next thing to do is just rest until the ship is fixed. Hello? It'll take some time to completely repair your starship. I suggest that you all get some rest in the interim. Alright, let's rest.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
Aww.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
The way she said that was kind of flirty.
If you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Doe! She called him Doe!
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara.
Get married! Please, get
I
married!
appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Do they even have the concept of marriage? Whatever, they can invent it.
And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
Excuse me!
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yes, please!
Yeah, I think I do too.
Get married! God, I'm obsessed with them. They are such a good match for each other. Oh my god, are we about to have another romantic scene?
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize?
Apologize?
Oh, for
what?
Cyslodia?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and
Oh,
all
for
that.
what he said to Rinwell about that.
I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
Law's such a good guy. Saying sorry really is
No,
so
Law.
important.
Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
Aww.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
That's so fucking cute.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us?
That's kind of
In a way,
poetic.
Doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
That's a nice way of looking at it.
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Then everybody together
Yeah.
is Dana's will.
Maybe.
That's so sweet and poetic.
35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become.
I love Law so much. He's my favorite character in maybe anything.
So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest,
Ah!
the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, And I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind.
Oh, he's
Nothing.
getting
Just forget
shy.
No, what were you saying?
about it. Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
They're so cute. I want them to get married too. Everybody just needs to get married because Alphen and Xian also need to get married. Are we gonna have an Alphen and Xian romance scene now?
You sure you don't want to get
Yeah. So after the big battle, we get a cute little romantic scene between all the couples.
I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xian?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
We're pretty far away. No wonder
Ages and ages ago.
nothing reaches us here.
Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen, I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Rena's Alma, there's something I want you to do.
Oh no.
Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Rena's Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
I knew she would ask him that. She wants to make sure.
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Rena's Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
I understand it. She wants to make sure that there's like a plan B.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Xian. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
We'll find a way.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Xian.
Get married times
So
3.
it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
Look at the way she's smiling.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you.
They're so
I don't have
cute.
words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
But to her, it was so important.
Even once you could, though, you
Actually,
still
that's
chose
true,
to
too.
keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
She's gonna make him wait
No.
until the thorns are
You
gone,
can tell me
yeah.
once my thorns are gone. Okay?
And then they can kiss. Oh, she's so cute. She is so precious.
okay.
I really love Shion. Actually, I really love every single character. How did they make every single character so amazing? They did such a great job writing these characters.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete.
Perfect
Everything is in
timing.
working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Ah!
Hold up, did you?
Law's like, wait.
Get going.
I have one last question.
Rinwell is like, don't question it.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
This music is so good.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable.
And yet it happened.
Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
All right, off we go. Oh, hello. Oh. take off for Rena. Here we fucking go. Let's go.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
Oh, this looks beautiful. It looks desolate. It is completely desolate. Oh, because there's no astral
There's
energy
nothing
really
here.
anywhere but in the
This
middle,
weird
right?
ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy.
Yeah, it's all in the
This world
center.
is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
Yeah, on a massive
You mean to tell
scale.
me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
It will never be enough. It will never be
So arresting.
satiated.
This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
Yeah, it will never be satisfied.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Destroyed remnants, Rena. This is not what we thought it would be like, huh? What everyone envisioned of Rena.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
Nothing good.
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking the entrance is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Oh my god, Law. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful. He was just curious.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renaissance using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Rena's Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Let's go! Time to get myself comfy again.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, Rinwell would love
you're
that.
Right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
All right, no more skits. Look at this place. It's just so desolate. All right, we gotta go forward. What is this here? Ah, interesting. There's a warp point. I'm assuming we're gonna be able to take that back here later. Yeah, because they don't function for now. This one is functioning. So let's go ahead.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research.
Yeah, he would love that.
As to whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen.
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
He does love his
We
history.
didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams
Oh my
have a habit
God.
of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
She's like, you better stay
Just
with
a
us.
friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
Or they were
You
made
think
for the
it's weird how
Helganquil?
the armored soldiers are
Yeah.
the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely.
Oh my
Hey,
god,
sorry, well,
Law.
I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
She should be talking to either Dohalim or Alphen. Alphen loves armor and Dohalim loves history.
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Here we go. Here we go again.
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
These people are controlled.
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Please let this be easier than when we fought them before.
I knew there was something off here.
They're not pulling punches.
Oh god, my fingers are like frozen. It is very cold out and I just tried to battle. This is actually the first time I've battled in this episode and I've been recording like an hour and a half. So, sitting here in this cold room, not actually battling at all, I realized my fingers are fucking like frozen. I need to like stretch them out for a minute.
Now you see what I can do. I'll run you down.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Radiant, here!
Win!
Come out of ammo!
Ah!
Here, let me help.
Here I come!
What a...
Light after Step forward! One at a time! Fantastic! Great! Amazing! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Already on!
Coming through!
Ooh, a Mystic Arts!
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing one!
Burn!
Carve it up! First aid! Crush blade! Lunar blade!
Anything in order is all mine!
Rising Wyvern!
Now! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Here, let me help.
Thanks, Chia. I'm sorry.
This one's mine.
Yeah, this is way easier than the actual boss fight. Ah, I'm totally missing though.
Armor won't save you!
Was that the last one? I think that was the last one.
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
It's just an awful situation. Obviously they're being controlled and you don't want to hurt them, but you also have to protect
You lose
yourself.
hope now. This whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
And not just protecting yourself, but like, if we don't accomplish this mission, all of Dana is going to be destroyed. So, even though it's awful that we have to kill some people that are just being controlled, we can't help it. We are trying to save the fucking world.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil. seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegus, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
That's kind of sad.
We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
That's very true. You have to just keep on hoping. I mean, obviously you can't hope so much that you give yourself false hope, but it's still good to have some optimism.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Zoogles? Why are there Zoogles here? Can I run past them? I don't think they even noticed me. What? They didn't run after me. Interesting. I wonder why. Okay, let's keep going.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions
Ah,
as an elevator.
that's kind of cool.
That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
Oh, there's the apparatus.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Yeah, it's so fucked
Which
up.
must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
I fucking love Law.
Entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
They're all so cute. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, we're being attacked on the elevator.
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. Don't wait, it won't save you from me.
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done. Mega ray. Oh,
Jesus, this is one tough bug. How are you still? There we go.
Just have to make sure we keep it. Don't worry, because Ron on.
If it's in the sky, it's mine. First aid.
I'm on rising water. Watch this.
Get toasty.
Okay, the bugs are done.
Right. Next one.
Now we've got
Already on it.
these things.
These sticks have got your name on them.
Oh, there is another bug still. Unless that just appeared. Yeah, I think more things are appearing? Or no? No, they're not. There was just one extra bug. Oh, did I miss the Mystic Arts? Yeah, I missed it. Oh well.
This one's mine.
Jesus, I just destroyed that thing.
Way to go. Sleep now. Into the shadows. Reinforcements?
Now I can let loose. I'm on it.
Lightning condensed.
I'm on it.
Ah, there are reinforcements. There are new things appearing. Because that statue thing just appeared. Jesus. How many waves are we gonna have?
Enemies incoming.
Oh my god.
I'm all stocked up. It's showtime. This one's mine. Kitara, frozen.
Hey, there's another one down. Now there's another bug. More bugs. How many are there? Is this some kind of gimmick where like I have to defeat a certain enemy first or they're just gonna keep appearing? Or is there just a ton of waves of this for no reason? If I defeat this and more appear,
Glacial spear. Here's evil.
I don't know if more appeared or not. Should I be destroying the chaotic figure? Is that what it is?
Bring you down.
Is this thing the reason that all these enemies are appearing?
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade. See that? That training's paying off.
Let's see if that stopped the summoning.
Demons descend. Flashing fang. More. You watch this.
No, I think more just appeared. I think it just is meant to have a bunch of waves. Ah! How many more are we gonna fight?
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade. Rising water. Here I come.
Your astral art is truly incredible. Every little bit helps, right? Indeed it does. I'll keep pushing to be better as well.
Now I'm in the groove.
Can they stop appearing? I just want to finish this. Oh, I've done Lightning Tiger Blade like 6 times in a row. Am I gonna miss the Mystic Arts because I'm in a cutscene? No, I got it. Did I? Did it let me? I was holding the buttons down. No, it didn't let me. I guess I was too far away from the enemies. Okay, is this the last wave? Because I don't think anything else appeared after that. So maybe this is the last wave? If I just defeat that last enemy, maybe we're done here. Okay, okay, was that the last finally? There we go. Jesus, that was a long battle.
Even stronger.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zoogles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
That seems like death.
Serious when you say that.
Yeah, that would not work, Johalim. Can I just run past you guys? Goodbye. So long, farewell. Oh shit. I want what you're protecting.
I have a bad feeling about this.
No, I would like to target the little guy first. No, I meant the little guy. Target. Yes.
These ones can run rings around us. This one's mine. I'll run you through. Like astral energy. I'll end you. Blow away.
Jesus. I need to keep focus on what this guy's doing. Alphen is just like trying to fight it all on its own. Okay, there's one down. Now let's get this one. Oh, I barely. Oh god. What did it just put on me? What status effect is this?
Here, let me help.
Ah, Jesus. Yes. Okay, now we can just focus on the big guy. Use everything. Okay, this thing was not quite as bad as I thought it would be. Damn it. Okay, I still hit it. I still hit it. I thought I might be too far away. Okay, we're gonna knock it down again. Yeah, this thing is not that big of a deal.
no further. You're done. Destruction. First strike. You're done. Even wider. More where that came from. Eat it. I'll run you through. Super swallow kick. Damn it. Take fire. Death walk. Now you let loose. Lightning thrust. I'll run you through. Demon fang.
We're getting so close. There we go.
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
We're still standing. Barely.
Hey, new equipment.
Better armor for Law is perfect at this stage. I'm already running low on CP though. Okay, where do I need to go? Down here. Oh, I'm not gonna go for the crystal. I don't want to get attacked. Down, down, down. Goodbye. I said goodbye. Holy shit, that thing is running.
Look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrecht 35 about it sometime.
I'll fight them for this chest, I don't care.
Looks like trouble with a capital T.
Together, we've got this. Devastation. First strike. We've got fires. All yours. I'm on it.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah.
Demon fang. Demon fang. Destruction.
Oh, it's you.
Kick in. Pull away. First strike. Tackle. First strike.
Oh, it's you.
You're mine. I'm on it.
I'll run you
First strike. Now it's First strike. I'll run you through. First strike. I'll run you through. Eat this. You're rising wyvern. Rising wyvern. I'm on it. I'll run you through. You're wide open. You picked the wrong fight.
Now you see what I can do.
First strike.
I'll finish you here and now.
You're done. I'm on it.
I kind of forgot that I could double jump.
Light burst forth. Here I come. I'll run you through.
All these fucking bugs. Okay, let me not forget my mystic arts this time. Ah, how did I still not do it in time? I tried. I feel like sometimes it's just kind of finicky. Alright, there we go. That wasn't so bad.
Want to rest up for a bit?
Rest up where, Alphen? Rest up where? Which way am I going? I don't want to fight you. Fuck.
Don't get careless.
I never miss.
Rising Falcon. First strike.
Here's the healing arm.
Oh, it's
Now or never. I'll run you demon fang. Double demon fang. You're done. Inferno punch. Rising wyvern.
Ah, I'm gonna lose the... Yeah, I lost the gauge.
I'm on a roll now.
Okay, there's one down. Man, I've been doing that one like a million times.
In an instant! Impact block! I'm even stronger than before.
Do I even have enough? Yeah, let's use an item.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way.
Ooh, a cloak. Perfect.
Equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Oh my god. Hey, you want to come this way? No, it won't move. I have to fight it.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this. Here, let me help. Eat this! Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Here's a healing arm. Glacier spear. Here's evil. Feel. I'm on it. Where's the other?
Pierce through! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's Crimson Red. I never miss. Purge malevolence.
Double demon come right behind you! Take it!
Sleep now.
No further!
Here's a healing arm. First aid. Feel. Eat this!
Run you through!
Here's a healing arm. First aid.
Swallow dead! You're mine! Rip his head!
Here's evil.
Stay away from my friends! I'm on it! Rising Wyvern!
I can't heal you forever. Back into the fray.
You picked the wrong fight! I'll run you through! Eat this! Rising Wyvern! You're done!
Here's a dog. Here's a healing arm.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Mommy Kasara's got us.
Dragon Swarm! Come and get it! I can carve through armor!
Here, let me help.
Too much!
Ah, shit.
By the power of water. Hit me, flame of
You're
fury.
finished!
Come on. Oh, Brynwell. No.
Freeze lancer.
Double demon coming through!
Ooh, Mystic Arts. Perfect timing, Alphen.
Scarlet Inferno!
Here,
Eat this! I'll run you through! Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Leave the chargers to me. Far enough.
That was the perfect time for Kasara to get that boost attack back. Jesus.
I'll end you! Eat this! Take this! Shockwave Slash! Try this!
Lunar corruption. Lunar blast.
Double demon first strike! I'll run you! Demon power! Double demon
Anything in armor is all mine.
demon power!
Damn it. I'm all soaked up.
Double demon ray!
I'm ready.
Gemini Aqua.
Demon ray!
Searing flame.
Ignite!
Reload.
Do it!
Jesus, that one came pretty close. I'm gonna have to fill my CP up again. For sure.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
Where are we now? Oh, we're over here, so we crossed that gap. We want to go straight this way. Can I get around all these guys? I don't care about any of this. Don't look at me, don't touch me, don't perceive me. Ah! Just go through the door. I know there's a chest there, but if I go through and then I go back out, then they won't see me. Yeah, see? That's called playing it smart. Oh fuck, he did see me. Wait. Where's the chest? Okay, just run. Oh, he saw me, but he didn't run after me. Okay, perfect. How much longer is this map? We've got another area up ahead. More Helganquil to fight. And let me, let me fill my CP up again.
Bad feeling about this. This one's mine.
Will you heal me, Xion?
Do it, Johalim.
Light burst force.
Radiant Genesis. Here's a healing art.
You're wide open.
Oh, thank God.
Lightning assassin. Thunder flame of fury. Burning strike. Glacial strike. Here's evil.
Take this.
Freeze
I'll
lancer.
smash you.
Take that. Here's a raging power. Here's a healing art. Do it. Sleep now.
Okay, there's another person down.
I'm just getting started.
Radiant clear. Sleep now. Here, let me help. This will come in handy.
Inferno
Glacial spear. Here's evil.
I'll run you through. Shouldn't have messed with me.
Freeze
I'm
lancer.
on it. I'll end you.
Annihilation. Magna ray.
I'm on it.
Back into the fray. Annihilation. Oh, violent guardian.
I'm on it.
Carve down through
Jesus. Okay, we got it.
crossblade.
We got it, we got
I
it.
need to be stronger.
Hey,
Uh,
what do you say we fight that
I don't want to fight you. I have to though. What's here? More frickin' okay, I'll just waste all my CP.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Jesus! Oh my God! Everybody's dying.
Here's evil. Eat this. Freeze lancer. Supernova. Raging
Now you see what I can do. What's this? Almost. You're wide open.
The waters of magic. In here.
I'm on it. I'll run you through. These fists have got your name on them.
Sleep now. Hear me.
What's this?
Burning strike.
Now we're never. Ignite. Coming.
Let the marksman handle this. Glacial spear. Here's evil.
Oh, I was gonna say, I swear to God I got it that time.
Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. Take this.
God, this thing has so much health.
You're done. Now you see what I can do.
I'll stop its charge. Thanks, Kisara.
You're done.
I'll stop that. Annihilation.
You picked the wrong fight.
Lunar corruption. Lunar hit.
I'm on it.
All right. Dance in the wind.
I'm gonna have to use another orange gel.
I hope this thing is medically approved.
Here, let me
I don't have another freaking thing. Okay, he didn't charge for that long.
So much for sitting this fight out.
This is looking good.
Nope, that'd be silly.
In here. Rhymes and red.
Okay, he's almost dead.
Here, let me help.
Stop doing that move! That's gonna do it again! Okay, maybe not. Oh, I didn't even realize that I had it. Nice.
We won.
We won, but at what cost? Oh my god. Can I get through them? Oh, I can. Are they protecting something over there? An herb, whatever. I don't care right now. Holy shit. There's a lot of places here. I don't want to fight another one of these things. No, thank you. Do I want to keep wasting my CP? That's worth it though. Wait, whose is it? Oh, it's for her? I don't even know if that was worth it. Because I don't use Kisara in battle. Can I bait you away from the door? No, you are staying firm as well.
I've got a really bad feeling about this. I don't feel like my usual self. Are you all right? Let me handle this one. So sorry to disappoint you. Oh, it's you. Here I go. Oh, it's you. I can carve through armor. I'm on it. Confiscated. I'll run you through. Come on a roll now. Denied. Burn out.
Prepare to be sealed. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Let's hop in more doing. Complete focus.
I'm nearly done for.
Super swallow day. I'm on a roll now.
Demon Fang!
You're
Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now!
Nice, Alphen.
Scarlet Inferno! Demon Fang! This one's mine!
By the power of water, it's you. Mega ray.
Demon Fang!
Pieces. Attack time.
Demon Fang!
Here I go. I'm only getting started. Oh, it's
Double Demon Fang!
I'm on it. Oh, it's here. I'm on it. Tectonic force. Don't give up. Come and get it. Hear me. Flame of lightning orange strike. Flame of evil.
Oh, what you take?
Magic is them. Free Lancer. Dance in the wind. Air thrust. You get the chance. First strike. This one's mine.
I'll run you through!
Justice denied. Mega ray. Radiant pierce.
I'm on it!
Damn it. Out of ammo. Magic crossray. Radiation.
I'm on it!
Flame of fury. Burning up dream.
Shattering
Glacial spear. Attack time. Tempest whirl.
I'm on it!
Freeze blade.
I'll run you through!
Ah,
Now I'm real mad!
Razor cyclone. Eat this.
Take
My
this.
natural and only get radiant pierce.
First strike! You're done!
Lunar corruption. I'm all stuffed up. Raging cascade. Into the shadows.
I didn't get the Mystic Arts again.
Flame of fury.
Eat this! I'll run you through! Too slow! First strike!
Here comes. Raging cascade.
Leave the charges to me.
Now I'm in the there with the others. If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Oh my god.
I never miss. Do it. Theon.
I have 1 health.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
Okay, I gotta go up
expect
this
you'll be
way
in
and
high
around.
demand if that's the case.
There's no way I'm fighting another one of these. I'm running past. Oh my god, not another one of those. Please tell me that's not the way I have to go. That is the way I have to go. Nah, that chest is not worth it. Please, I don't want to fight you.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Ah, fuck.
Starting wind. Car down.
I hope this thing is mentally approved.
Be careful. She has some kind of camouflage. Arch shield. Here, let me help. Let's go. Dance in the wind. It's time to finish this.
Yes, queen.
Consuming wildfire. Here's a healing arc.
Take this. Watch it. Come on. Too slow. That's enough. Burn. I'm on it. I'll run you through.
Annihilation.
Death blossom.
Here's a healing arc.
Come on, roll now.
Sleep now.
Lost my phone.
The one healing arc. Tidal wave.
Super swallow dance.
Here, let me
Anything in armor is all mine.
Raging. Here's a healing arc.
They got me flanked.
Lightning. Downfall. Damn it. Out of air. Watch and
Eat this.
here's a healing arc.
Now or never.
Glacial shield. Here's evil. Air thrust.
Oh, come on. How did I not get the Mystic Arts that time?
Here's a healing arc. First aid. Take it.
Done. We're done.
Dance in the wind. Field.
First strike.
Let's get you out of the way.
I'm on it.
Raging storm. Now.
Demons descend.
Okay, one down.
Here's a healing arc. First. Raging storm. Into the fray. Radiant. Look here. Lightning. Radiant. Look here.
You're done.
I'm out of ammo.
away.
Do it.
Demons descend. Flashing fang. Now you see what I can do. I'm just getting started.
This one's mine.
I'm on it. Dust to dust.
God, Elfin is just dead most of these fights.
You're done.
Here's a healing arc. First aid. Malevolent. Arctic waterfall. In here. Mega ray. Let's get you out of the way.
Eat this.
All disasters
You're done.
made one.
Talon hurricane.
Healing some purity.
Ah, fuck.
Just a little longer.
Thanks for the sympathy.
Get it together. We need you in form. Here's a healing arc. First aid.
Eat this.
Not in your dreams.
Coming.
Searing flame.
You're done. Talon hurricane.
Searing flame. Reload. Damn it. Out of ammo. Watch and dance in the wind. Radiant. Sleep now.
Tectonic
Glacial spear. Fierce evil.
I'll smash you.
Tempest whirl. Up and at 'em. Let's go.
You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that. I'm on it.
Rise and run. Just wait. Lightning.
Now I'm in the groove.
Here's a healing arc. Darting wind.
Go away. I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. First strike.
This one's mine.
I'll run you through. Eat this.
Spread. Searing
I don't have Kisara's boost attack right now. Now I do.
flame of fury. This
All good things come to an end.
spear. Fierce evil.
Can't get out of this.
Our expert.
Eat
Fury
this.
lancer. Celestial. Let me help. First
There
aid.
you go.
Purge malevolent. Magic is amp. It's over.
Move in the way.
Annihilate. You or die. Mega red. Sleep now.
I'm so close.
Here's a healing arc. Magic is amp. First aid. In here.
Now I'm in the groove.
This one.
You're done.
Radiant. Here.
Okay, there we go. I didn't mean to do Demons Descend again. Jesus.
With this, I can become even stronger.
All right, well, we made it to the end because here is a fucking healing circle. Let's save as we always do. All right, here we are. I have no idea what awaits me, but let's go for it. Let's see what this is. I feel like it's too early to already be fighting the spirit, but obviously there's gonna be some kind of battle
What do you
here.
think this place was for?
Holy shit.
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No, they appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Wow,
Dead?
that's kind of
So
sad.
this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedures somewhere.
So
And
these
that
are all the
place is
people
here,
that
I assume.
didn't live past the
So
procedure.
what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
I don't like this energy swirling around us.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
So I wonder if they didn't survive the procedure or if they just hadn't had the procedure done yet on them. Did they kill them before doing the procedure? I'm assuming the procedure is what killed them, because otherwise, how do you revive a dead person? But again, who knows what their technology is like? I guess it could be possible either way. All right, what are we fighting? Whoa, this thing is cool. Holy
What is that
shit,
thing?
this thing is cool.
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
All right, this is likely gonna be the last thing I do today is fight this. And then maybe just walk across the bridge. I'm assuming there'll be a cutscene after that. Is there any weak points? No, not yet. Ah!
Damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
Armor won't save you!
Oh god, okay.
Head is its weak point. We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can't reach that. Oh, here we go.
That'll bring you down.
Nice work!
Okay, where's it gonna land? Okay, okay. Okay, not going so bad so far, but who knows if it's gonna pull something else out of its ass. Can't get over there. Okay, it's gonna land again.
You're wide open! I'm on it!
Where are you going?
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Here's a healing arc.
I'm on it! Ready to go! Sword Rain Alpha! Flew away! All in you! I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! I'm on it!
Okay, so far we're making kind of quick work of this, but I know that that doesn't always mean anything. Sometimes they pull some crazy shit out of their ass in the second phase. Okay, there's halfway.
You require a head. Not today! Oh, it's you! No further! Alright! I'm on! Now I can run strike! I'll run you through! Leave it to us, even me! Glimmer crash! Eat this! Oh, it's here! Cross on a drop! Demon Fang! Double Demon Fang! I'll run you through! Alright! It's showtime! I'm only getting started! Require complete focus! Eat this! Not today! Pieces! Attack time! I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my art do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
I can carve through armor!
Aw, Rinwell, that's not true because even though your arts are offensive, you're using them to save people.
No further! The tactics are working great!
Full speed ahead!
Hey, wait for law!
First aid! Light astral energy!
Free!
Oh, we actually are making very quick work of this thing. I didn't even realize how little health I had left.
You shouldn't have messed with me! You're done! I'm on it!
They're not playing around! First aid! What would I do without field?
Ah, I thought I was pressing the buttons hard enough. It's okay, it's almost dead anyways.
Sleep now. Get on in there,
Can't get out of this! Dragon Swarm! Eternal Devastation! Ready and ready!
Here's a healing art. More where that came from. Do it.
Here we go. Ah, I did Demon's Descent again. Alright, that one was fairly easy. So let's walk forward, see what cutscenes await us. But we probably won't go too much further than this.
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. There was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
That's
You're saying those were
horrifying.
the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalim's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
Alright, let's watch this skit.
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zoogles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
Aw, poor Hoodle. Alright, so let's walk forward. Wait, is there anything I can collect over here? Yes. Pineapple gel, thank you. I will take that. What about over here? Nothing. Alright, through the door. Oh, and a teleporter. Inversion room, this is called. And let's head out.
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
Ah!
At least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
So will this flip it back? Oh, the teleporter to the entrance is now active. That's awesome. Actually, I think that makes this a really good point to stop. We just got a fast travel point and a way back down. So obviously that means whatever happens ahead is probably gonna be something crazy. So that seems like a good spot to pick this up next time. This episode has been some interesting revelations for sure. Some of them I expected and some of them I didn't. It's kind of nice to be able to guess things every once in a while. You feel kind of accomplished, but it's also really nice to be surprised by what happens as well. So I feel like this game has had a good mix of both. There's some stuff that I've been like, oh, I saw that coming, and then there's some stuff that I did not see coming at all. But regardless, either one has been so fun to see play out. So I can't wait to see more of the game and to hopefully take down the Great Spirit sometime soon so that we can save all of Dana. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed it. Check out my Ko-fi link in the description if you'd like to support the channel. And hit subscribe to become a fledgling and join the clan. I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye!